Welcome to another edition of Tuscaloosa Talks. We are here at the Homewood Suites by Hilton at the 205 Rooftop Bar. It's an amazing view. I can't say enough about this amazing hotel and this venue right here that overlooks our River District. And you get a chance, come on up here and take a look. I think you'll be very, very impressed. I am here today with some rock stars in Tuscaloosa. Jason Walker, who is an engineer at TTL. Certainly he has a much fancier title, but he's Jason to all of us at the city of Tuscaloosa. And KBJ, Katy Beth Jackson, has the best abbreviation. I love just saying KBJ. She is the financial manager. Her title is probably much more extensive, but here's the thing about Katy, she just gets the job done. She has certainly been so important as we've moved forward with Elevate and make certain that we spend all of your tax dollars wisely. Today we're going to be talking about this amazing development that's going on in our River District, in particular River District Park. And so, Jason, I want to begin with you. First, you're a Central boy.
That's right.
That's right. Go see high. You know, we're part of that Central class here in Tuscaloosa.
For the record.
I did not know that.
Sorry to interrupt.
What year?
Yep, 2002.
Boom.
You were the last class.
03 was the absolute last class of the consolidated.
I knew there was good energy. You know, there must be a falcon in the atmosphere.
That's
right. It's hot in here.
That's right. It is hot in here. We knew it. For the Central graduates out there will know exactly what we're talking
That's right.
about. All right. So, Jason, you're a Central boy. I'll go back to where we were. You're a Central boy, born and raised here. What does it mean to have been engineer on so many projects in Tuscaloosa, from downtown to riverfront to everything in between?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely defines my career. You know, to be able to do any project. We were talking earlier, all projects, you know, you're proud of them kind of like your kids, but in this case, you know, this project even in particular, there's an extra level of pride in being here 15 years ago with Tuscaloosa Chevrolet and Empty Farmers Market, and going back before that, you know, the history of this site, and to see what is happening. And our company has played a role in all of these developments, even in the hotel we're sitting in now. So, yeah, I can't tell you how proud, not just me, but our whole team are to be a part of those. So.
Well, I know you started your career with Bob Allman, who, you know, is a legend among legends, and quite frankly, I've always called him the father or grandfather of our riverfront. What would you think Bob is thinking about from heaven, all these things that we see behind us?
Actually, I have chills in the back of my neck thinking about it. You know, I don't think he could have imagined it, because in 2003 we were finishing the original Riverwalk master plan, and to look and say, okay, what's this extra level of private development that can come on top of what the city investment's going to bring? And it's just built on itself like dominoes. The city did initial infrastructure, and then some private development came, and it just continues on. And then to see this, the River District Park in particular, is beyond what that original plan really showed. So he couldn't have imagined it. Yeah, he would be unbelievably proud.
He would, and certainly we all have tried to implement his vision for the riverfront, and too what he did downtown.
Yeah.
And the lake. I mean, Bob's fingerprints all over our city.
Yeah.
Katy Beth Jackson, KBJ. Now you're a CPA by training, aren't you?
That's right.
So, but when you came to the city, you started out in a financial accounting role, but your portfolio has increased. Tell the people who are listening or watching this, what do you do for the taxpayers of Tuscaloosa?
Well, I still have some financial components to my job and have oversight of different spending on capital projects, particularly the Elevate Tuscaloosa program. Like you said, I've morphed and broadened out. I don't consider myself strictly an accountant. Just overseeing a lot of projects from a project management side, getting to work with the Office of Operations and Brendan, our Chief Operations Officer, having a broader look at the city as a whole and all the operations that we have going on. So starting to get involved and dipping my toe into that new role, and it's fascinating, and I just love getting to work for the city and my hometown. So,
well, you've been absolutely key to us in creating that accountability and transparency when it comes to how we spend Elevate dollars. So let's go right into an Elevate project that's right across the street from us, River District Park. What are you most excited about, Katy Beth, when you think about this park and what it hopes to accomplish for the community?
I think for me on this park, one of the coolest features is just being able to get right down almost on the water. The river has always been one of my favorite features about Tuscaloosa. And I love that we have that tiered structure, that concrete tiered step system where people can go and sit right down by the water and take in one of the best views in town, I think.
Yeah, I think I think this park is going to exceed everyone's expectations, and certainly it's going to be the hub for our Western Riverwalk and everything in terms of the Riverwalk itself on the south side of the river. Now, Jason, you've been engineered on this. You're the engineer on this project. What were some of the challenges that, as an engineer, that you encountered with this project?
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty long list. At the end of the day, it's one that you hope nobody sees the results of.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's built. A majority of it's built on the old municipal landfill. Significant utility infrastructure in the area, floodplain. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
But those were challenges. But we really end up dealing with those a lot within the river floodplain of Tuscaloosa most of the time. Anyway, the amphitheater obviously was a similar type site and part of the old landfill itself. So, but other than that, it's kind of that last piece in that jewel that the city has kind of held on to wait and do it right. And in my opinion, the city is doing it right.
Well, one of the things that when people drive by or get a chance to look at it, they probably think, oh, it's about ready. But, we're probably still a month and a half from being completely finished with the project. And much of that deals with the electrical component. Would you just explain in layman's terms what that component will be and mean for the park, and why is that taking a little bit longer than when the project was bid out back last year?
Well, one of the most exciting parts of the park is what it's going to become at night with the RGB LED lighting and just the lighting in general. I mean, we want it to be a very secure place and make people feel comfortable to come out at night. But beyond that, depending on the levels of programming, it's going to come alive with the lights. And as part of that, there's just some vital infrastructure that between the COVID, supply chains, whatever all those things are. In some cases, sometimes that can be used as an excuse probably by certain contractors and things, but this is legitimate. It's a very detailed component, and it's what's going to bring all this lighting together in a central control location. So until we get that system, which is detailed, designed, and manufactured in place, we can't really plug it all up and let it light up. So, but that's coming, and the professionals that deal with that to help programming and get it and set it in the city's hands are scheduled, and we should again start seeing that mid-September to finish by end of September.
Now, one of the unique features of this park is that it will have a pedestrian bridge that will connect back into the Sabin Center. Tell the people at home a little bit about that, and again, sometimes it looks simple to build a pedestrian bridge, but why? I think this will be a $7 to $8 million pedestrian bridge. What's going to be unique about it, and what are some of the challenges with putting it in place so people, and especially young children, can go from the Sabin Center to the park and be safe and not have to cross Jack Warner?
Yeah, over the years, there's been a lot of requests, even the original master plan, to get grade separation, that's the engineering term, between the vehicles and pedestrians at different points along Jack Warner Parkway. But in almost every location, the elevation is the same on either side, or maybe even lower than the roadway, like River Market. You could effectively never really get a pedestrian bridge in that location because of the ADA access for accessibility grades that would be required. Here, we do have the benefit on the south side to go up towards the Sabin Center. There's a natural grade change there anyway, and so the grade change we mainly have to navigate is on the park side. So just to the west of the existing Lurleen Bridge, there will be some switchbacks and some approaches that you will go up to go across the actual bridge on Jack Warner. But it in itself will have architectural features, will have the RGB lighting, and be a feature in itself architectural that should be nice to look at, but also obviously functional and safe to get from the park to the Sabin Center and back and forth.
So when the pedestrian bridge is under construction, it's not going to disrupt, though, the park itself being open and people being able to enjoy it? No,
there'll definitely be an area that will have fenced off just on the east side of the Lurleen Wallace Bridge, but basically between there and the AMP parking lot, but there'll still be connectivity as you go closer to the river to get from the park to the amphitheater.
Okay. Katy, Beth, putting back on your CPA hat. This project's under budget, isn't it?
It is.
And we're very proud of that.
Fingers crossed we crossed the finish line, also under budget. But
so moving forward, in thinking about what you can do with this park, what do you think are some of the things we may see out there in the future at the River District Park?
We were actually talking a little bit about that earlier, and on the night of an amphitheater concert, I think it would be a great spot to have activated before the show. You could have food trucks down there. There's hookups for those. There could even be a smaller concert happening right before an amphitheater show. And then when a concert's not happening at the big amphitheater, of course, you could have festivals, outdoor vendors and festivals of all kinds, music, all kinds of things down there. I think it's going to be really a great spot to hang out.
Well, we're all Tuscaloosa, born and raised. Did you ever expect to see any of this in our downtown and riverfront?
Yeah, not to this level. I couldn't have seen it.
No. Y'all have heard me say this. I remember growing up here, and we never, you were told, don't go downtown, don't go to the riverfront.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there are times like, out of the corner of my eye, I look over here and I go, wow, I can't believe, we get to be part of this transformation. And one of the cool things that I'm seeing is people are demanding more. And sometimes you want to say, look at all what we've done. I mean, have you not seen where we've come from? But I think that's going to be the exciting part about what's happening in Tuscaloosa. And I know you're working on the Western Riverwalk project that we hope to get moving hopefully early next year. So there's going to be more to come, but we couldn't do it without y'all. And I want you to know how much on behalf of the city I appreciate what you do. Jason, I think you're this generation's Bob Allman, quite frankly, and I'm not just saying that because you're sitting in front of me, and Beth. The taxpayers are so fortunate to have you in your service, and you do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
I hope everyone will come out to the River District Park when it opens. Most likely, we're probably going to open it and then have an opening ceremony a little bit later on in the fall.
That's right.
Yeah, so we'll let the public know.
Should be a beautiful fall day for a ribbon cutting.
I tell you what, I'm ready. I think everyone else is ready. This has been another edition of Tuscaloosa Talks.